Alright, last night was UFC 284, and I'm here to break down what do I think should happen next. Why I think that this was a robbery. What do you do with the lightweight and featherweight division? I'm gonna break down all of that. Q&A on Thursday. Please comment questions in the comment section below. Ask about UFC 284, next UFC card, anything you guys want to know. Also, thank you guys if you guys checked out my reaction video to UFC 284. If you guys didn't check that out, it's my reaction to the whole main card. You get to see all the highlights, and let's just get into it. Well, last night was a massive fight, and I tweeted about this. I don't think this was a big enough deal. We literally have the pound for pound number one, pound for pound number two best mixed martial artists on the planet fighting each other. Like, I don't know why it took me today just to realize how big of a deal that is, but obviously it was a close decision. And yesterday's upload was my immediate reaction, what I thought after the fight. So I took some time to sleep after editing the video all night, woke up, was like, hey, let me go rewatch this fight. And I have to say, I honestly think that Alexander Volkanovski got robbed. I honestly think that he won the fight. I think he won rounds 2, 3, and 5. And I know a lot of people on Twitter agree, and I know a lot of people agree online and all this. A few people in my comment section were already talking about it, how it was a robbery. I had it for Volkanovski upon rewatch. Now, the second round is really what the fight comes down to, in my opinion. I thought the third and fifth round were clear rounds for Volkanovski. Third round, in my opinion, you cannot give to Islam. I don't know why that judge gave it to Islam, but I thought that was a clear Volkanovski round. Round 2 is only close because really Islam rocked Volkanovski at one point. But yes, although that is probably the best moment in that round, you forget that Alexander Volkanovski had a lot of volume in that round, and he also rocked Islam in pressing him against the cage. I thought that Volkanovski won the fight. However, if you guys are new to the channel, you guys will know my philosophies on decisions. Some people call decisions they disagree with robberies, and some people even say not all close decisions, but decisions that aren't close I call robberies. No, like people call the Yan and O'Malley fight a robbery. I wouldn't call it a robbery. For me, I have a very unpopular philosophy that if you're a fighter and you reach that final bell, to me you're giving up the right and acknowledging that somebody could fuck up your decision and disagree and make you lose, right? Now, there's only very rare circumstances where I disagree with this. The latest example was the Paddy Pimblett and Jared Gordon decision, which I just thought was atrocious. Like, literally, I thought that Jared Gordon won every single round, so I don't know how you have it 29-28, all three judges for Paddy. But this was not a robbery, and I'm not mad that Alexander Volkanovski lost. I think it was a bad decision, honestly. The more I watch the second round, the more I kind of think, yeah, it wasn't really as close, but nonetheless, it was close. It's not enough for me to sit here and say, what the hell, like, this is unfair. But we've talked enough about the decision. What's next? Because nothing is going to change. I want to talk about what I want to do next. First thing, let's just get this out of the way. Volkanovski deserves an immediate rematch. First of all, the fight was close. Second of all, this is the closest fight and the toughest fight that Islam's ever had. Third of all, arguably Volkanovski won, which is just not fair, you know, for Volkanovski. And fourth of all, he deserves a rematch because he was giving up his pound for pound number one spot when all the odds were stacked against him. You know, obviously the size, the height, everything was against him. Volk gave up that pound for pound number one spot to fight Islam. Arguably, in my opinion, I think he was giving up more than Islam was. And in my opinion, I don't think Islam deserves to be ranked number one, to be honest. I think especially after that performance, you know, you look at the two guys' faces. And for the record, I'm not saying that Alexander Volkanovski should be ranked number one either. In my opinion, I think after next month, if Usman and John Jones win, I think they both deserve to be 1 and 2. I'm not going to be upset that Islam is ranked number one, though, so it's whatever. So if we're running it back, right, a lot of people are like, hey, we have an interim title, right? We have the whole lightweight division. What do we do? Well, I actually was laying in bed thinking about it, and I came up with, my opinion, I think the perfect solution. And here it is. So first of all, we're going to start with the lightweight division, obviously. So Volkanovski and Islam really didn't take too much damage. Yes, Islam's face looks like he got hit by a truck, but those are just bruises. Those are going to heal. And I don't know if he has an injury. He alluded to something at the end of the fight being wrong in the camp, so I hope it's not an injury that'll keep him out of the cage for a long time. But hopefully we could run this back ASAP, maybe July, June, something like that. And what do we do with the lightweight division? I think we should have an interim title. And for the interim title, why not do a fight that's already booked? Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira, UFC 288. Make it for the interim title. Beneil Dariush on a huge winning streak. Charles Oliveira was just on a huge winning streak. Lost to Islam Makhachev. Had tons of hype behind him before that loss. Why not have those two fight? Whoever wins gets the interim belt. I feel like that's already a number one contender spot anyway. So why not just add a belt on it? Now hold up the division. And I don't think any of those guys would really fight against that. You know what I mean? Now, whether that's a main event, co-main event, I don't know. But I really wouldn't mind 5 rounds of that fight. Now, what do we do with the featherweight division? Obviously, Yair was just crowned the interim featherweight champion. I think why not have him defend the belt? I don't think there's ever been an interim champion that's actually defended his belt. So why not? And also, while we're at it, let's make these interim belts silver. Like, what the hell's going on? This is such a good idea. I've been saying this before that tweet blew up that has been saying this. Why isn't it silver is beyond me. But hey, I'm getting off topic here. Let's get him to defend, or maybe not even defend. He might not even have to defend, but here's my pitch. Arnold Allen wins on April 15th against Max Holloway. Let's set up a fight night in the summer. It doesn't even have to be on a pay-per-view. Let's have it in Mexico. Yair Rodriguez, Arnold Allen. Yair making his title defense against Arnold Allen. And that would just be such a big scene. Yair gets his Mexico fight. The only thing that I wish was was that the timing was a little bit better, so we could have it on Cinco de Mayo or something like that. Obviously, there's a UFC pay-per-view that weekend, so that is not going to work out. Or we could have it in September, but that's going to work against my plans, which I'm going to reveal right after. And the reason for this is, look, I would feel bad if this was like Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev, right? Where like Charles Oliveira, let's say, had a close fight against Volkanovski, Islam's next in line, but Islam has to defend his interim title in a hypothetical situation. If you guys know what I mean, I hope I'm not explaining this terribly. This isn't a guy with a long winning streak. This isn't a guy that's been really active. In the past 4 years, he's fought like 3 times. His win before Josh Emmett was against Brian Ortega, which, yes, I think he was winning the fight, but was a freak accident, right? So I don't really feel too bad if he has to fight another contender and then fight Alexander Volkanovski. But if Yair doesn't want to, who cares? Because like I said, this isn't a guy that's active. Last time he fought was July. He took no damage in that fight, yet waited 8 months to fight. This isn't a guy that likes to be active. 8 months from now is October. So I think that's plan A. Or if Arnold Allen loses, Yair could just wait, which I don't think he'll have a problem doing anyway. Let them fight in November at MSG, because New York obviously has like a lot of Hispanic people in there. A lot of people could get behind Yair Rodriguez. It could be like a co-main event, Volkanovski Yair. Or if you want to do Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez first in like June, and then maybe in October you do champ versus champ in Abu Dhabi, Islam's backyard, after you just did it in Volkanovski's backyard. That also makes sense story-wise as well. So I wouldn't mind that possibility either, but the reason I'd rather get this done first is not just because Volkanovski deserves it, but it's because I think Yair's kind of a bad matchup for Volkanovski, and I'm just a little worried that there could be a massive upset and Yair wins and it kind of just fucks up the whole fight. So I'd rather get this done with, but I'm curious to see. Honestly, this gives me hope, because in my opinion, I don't think Dana likes Islam Makhachev. If you guys want me to make a video on why I think that Dana hates Islam Makhachev, I'll do a video on it. I'm probably gonna do a video on it either way, because I think that's a good video topic. But let me know in the comment section below. But that's the matchups that I would make after this. I think that Yair defending the belt in Mexico would be a good idea, but I think it's also just a strong possibility he waits maybe till November, December, something like that, and Volkanovski fights him then. Volkanovski's a guy that likes to be active. I don't really feel bad if Yair has to wait a little longer, because to be honest, like, I don't really like guys that wait a long time anyway. He took no damage in his last fight. There was no excuse for him to be out for so long, and the fact that he was demanding a title shot was ridiculous. The guy's coming off 2 wins. Like, I have no problem with him waiting. Like, seriously, you could wait. Volkanovski deserves this. He's a guy that's been active, been trying to do this, risked everything in this fight, risked his #1 pound-for-pound spot when he didn't really have to. But like I said, you know, I'm not going to complain about the decision. As much as I keep saying robbery, it really was not a robbery. But in my opinion, it's just a decision that I disagree with looking back at the fight. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys disagree with the decision? You know, I have no problem if you guys agree with it, though. Unless you agree with 49-46, then you're just wrong. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how you can score that 49-46. I'm talking to you, Bilal Muhammad. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was an amazing fight. Comment in the comment section below what you guys want me to cover next. Jones versus Gane is next. Holy shit. That is going to be massive. It's going to be a massive fight. I can't wait for the week where I just get to talk predictions, breakdowns, everything like that for it. So subscribe for all that. If you guys want to see my reaction video, it's going to be on the screen. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.